Hello everybody and welcome to yet another exciting episode of upcoming indie games we are excited for. This week we are covering November 13th through the 18th of 2023. As always, thank you so much for supporting independent content. Head on over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames to gain Discord access, exclusive live streams, early ad-free versions of shows, and so much more. Your community is waiting for you. Before we do get into all of those sweet indies, we have an indie sponsor this week who helped to make this episode possible. It's the Crazy Hyper Dungeon Chronicles, coming to us from developer and publisher Fix-A-Bug Q3 of 2024. The Crazy Hyper Dungeon Chronicles, try saying that 3 times fast, is a 2D roguelite dungeon crawler. And yes, it features some wonderful pixel art. As you know, we love our pixel art around here. What else does Ole Gamer Joe and the crew like? Turn-based combat. Yup, checkmate. Also has that. Alright, hold on just 1 second before I go into the details about this game, because you have to take a moment with me to admire the sweet, sweet soundtrack. At least the music that's used in this trailer is pretty badass. So do you remember an old top-down dungeon crawler called Brandish back in the early 90s? It released from Falcom on the Super Nintendo and the PC Engine. Well, I'm totally getting those vibes from this one. The developers are saying this is going to have a little bit of an arcade feel to it though. Ooh, I'm totally on board with that. And there's going to be a total of 50 different levels, all randomly generated as well. As you traverse these dangerous biomes, you'll have three different styles at your disposal, and you can unlock a ton of new abilities. There are a lot of monsters for you to take down, so you'll have a good variety of ways to do so, and hopefully you come out on top. But hey, don't take things too seriously, okay? Because the developers are also saying there's going to be some really clever dialogue, and the game will have a fun sense of humor. So not everything is going to be doom and gloom in these dungeons. But that's not all. It's not just about killing monsters and traversing forward, collecting treasure and finding new abilities. There are puzzles to solve, so you gotta use your brain a little bit as well. All of this sounds great to me, so why don't you put that brain to use right now? Head on over to their Steam page using the link in the description box below, and at least throw the Crazy Hyper Dungeon Chronicles on your wish list. Once again, a very special thank you to Fix-A-Bug for sponsoring this week's episode, Q3 of 2024. I gotta say it one more time. The Crazy Hyper Dungeon Chronicles, the Crazy Hyper Dungeon Chronicles, the Crazy Hyper Dungeon Chronicles. Wow, that's actually easier to say 3 times than I thought it was going to be. Thank you for supporting independent content, but now let's get crazy about some indies that are releasing this coming week. Up first, we have Spirittea, which really looks quite cute and adorable on the surface. Kind of gives me an Earthbound vibe to a degree as well, with the offbeat art style and the quirky sense of humor. It looks like you'll be exploring a lot of outdoor environments in this game, including forests. There are rivers flowing, mysterious caves for you to explore, all while drinking your spirit tea, which I guess makes you hallucinate. Wait a second, didn't this happen to me once in real life? Even worse, not only are you seeing spirits now, these spirits are pretty pissed off from the way they've been treated for the past several years, and you need to deal with their problems. Talk to townspeople and maybe go bug catching, sing some songs, or manage a full bathhouse, including cleaning up towels. There's some decorating to be done. Yeah, this is definitely getting a little bit cozier than I expected, but if you always dreamed of being surrounded by spirits and managing a bathhouse, then this title will be the one for you. Let's move along and talk about Microcivilization. Microcivilization is a clicker strategy title. It will be entering early access here on the 13th from DREDGE Homolo, and I'm really sorry, I totally screwed that up. I'm positive of it. But either way, there is a demo available for this one, so if you're on the fence after I tell you about it, well, you can try it for yourself. Create the most powerful of nations, build some awesome workshops, gain new abilities, unlock a ton of upgrades, get new military units, and unlock other bonuses as well. You will face your challenges though. It's not as easy as it sounds. There's going to be famine, there's going to be death, there's going to be destruction, war, all of that nasty stuff that we don't like to deal with. You'll need to take some risks, but in the end, hopefully you will prevail. Unfortunately, some blood will have to be shed and you might have to to fight your way out of some dangerous situations. As you slay more powerful foes, you'll unlock more powerful heroes, so it all kind of balances each other out, right? Maybe. You're either into this thing or you're not, but if you are, the 13th isn't too far away. Okay, this next one is a little more my speed. It's called Dream Knight, and it is an action roguelike title with 4 different heroes to select between that all have unique styles of play. The fantasy setting is definitely right up my alley, and there also seems to be a good variety of different levels to explore. Use your mighty bow and arrow, your battle axe, your lightning whip, or even something else that I can't pronounce. On top of that, there are 3 additional weapons that can be unlocked. As long as the action plays as good as it looks, I'm completely on board with this one. A little sad to see that it's listed as single player though, because I feel like there's an easy opportunity to make this a 4-player game. Alas, not the case. All right, let's move on to maybe the most depressing named video game ever, Death Must Die. Death Must Die, wait. Oh, like death, like the Grim Reaper. Okay, I get it. Yes, you are indeed seeking out that very death and trying to take him down once and for all with the powers of God. This self-described roguelite RPG bullet heaven, that's a lot of descriptive words. We're really getting out of control with some of these labels, aren't we? Let's just get back to calling things video games, right? Anyways, this kind of does have that Vampire Survivors vibe to it. I'm all about it. The art looks great. The action is fun. I like this genre of games. I enjoy mowing down enemies without having to think too much and just running around and causing chaos. Looks like I'll be able to do all of that with a pretty cool concept behind it. Tip my hat to the devs. Looks like there's only 4 working on this. This early access effort will need your support. Onward and upward, we have KarmaZoo next, coming from developer Pasta Games and Devolver Digital, releasing on the 14th. And you know, I played a demo, or I at least watched Silent Signs play some of the demo for this game, and I'm still not exactly quite sure what I witnessed, but it's definitely something different. I'm gonna directly quote the Steam page on this one because I can't even bullshit my way through this, but quote, "This is a cooperative platformer where up to 10 random players help each other with the unique abilities of 50 different characters, all for the sake of good karma." Okay, so it's kind of coming back to me after I've read that. Basically, the idea here is to work together and gather all of this karma in order to complete levels. I think. The idea behind KarmaZoo is really about bringing people together and spreading goodwill, and I kind of like that messaging. It seems like the size of the levels is going to change depending on how many people are playing, so if you have 10 on screen, it's going to be a different size as opposed to if you have 4 or 5 players on screen. The more good deeds that you perform, the more that you can unlock within the game. Alright, so I still don't really know what this is until I get my hands on it, but I really want to get my hands on it, and that says something. Let's pray for some good karma when this one releases soon. Take control of Atom Eve in, drumroll please. Invincible presents Atom Eve. Oh, it just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? This superhero visual novel adventure certainly captures the look of a comic book and features music from Milk and Bone, who I'm not familiar with, but maybe you are? Based on the trailer, the sound is pretty sweet, so they must be alright. I'm gonna have to check that band out further. Anyways, the game is already confirmed for the Steam Deck, fully verified, and is led by the writing of award winner Jill Murray. You'll make plenty of choices that will alter the story and even partake in some turn-based combat. Could be a nice on-the-go style game. So has Dune been just about every form of media at this point? We've had Dune video games, like the one we're gonna talk about here, Dune movies, Dune board games, of course, Dune book. In this digital board game, you'll play as a member of the Grand House, either locally, online, or against AI, and get to collecting spices. The game has a ton of deck building elements and takes place over a total of 10 rounds. I can already tell that this game will be a little too complex for me, but I do like the Dune universe, and hey, they're making a sequel to that movie, so that's nice. The first one was pretty good. I mean, not the first one. You get it, okay? Whatever. Unlock your inner nerd when Dune Imperium launches from the sands on the 14th into early access. So who doesn't love giant mech smashing shit, right? Well, you'll get the opportunity to play as one in UFO Robot GRENDIZER, The Feast of the Wolves. Based on the popular anime series, which ran over 40 years, this will be the first video game for our robot friend and is an action third-person brawler. The game looks to pay tribute to the show through its environments, characters, and attacks. While I'm not familiar with the series myself, the action does look quite fun, and I'm very much looking forward to giving it a go. I'm a huge Power Rangers fan, so that kinda counts for something, right? Did you think we were done with Metroidvania's Souls-like games for the year? There's been a lot of great releases, but we ain't done yet. The Last Faith looks phenomenal. The first thing I noticed about The Last Faith when I first saw the trailer was just how beautiful it was, but it looks to merge its action, exploration, and puzzle-solving elements into a truly unforgettable experience. Let's hope it all comes together equally. Based on what I can hear in the trailer, the musical score is also perfect for the atmosphere that they're trying to create. The game is completely non-linear, so it won't be on a set path, which maybe means I'll get lost, but I'll hopefully love being lost in this wonderful world. While this won't be the last Metroidvania we see, I have faith in it being pretty good. Okay, let's get back to trying to pronounce crazy words with Naheulbeuk's Dungeon Master. Damn, I nailed that one, I think. Probably not. This is a tower defense title with those management elements, which means an instant nope for me, but hopefully it's a yep for you. Create the dungeon you've always wanted, decorate your room however you wish, and get the reputation you've always wanted for yourself. Your dungeon is your home in this one. Also, just as you might have guessed, you'll craft plenty of items, tons and tons of them in fact. So defend your tower today. Or dungeon, I guess. Are you hankering for some cinematic puzzle action? Well, hanker no more, because American Arcadia releases this week. This puzzler tells the tale of everyman Trevor, who finds himself smack dab in the middle of a daring escape from his less than savory employer. And of course, every puzzle game needs a little bit of a gameplay twist, right? Not only will you be controlling our hero, but you'll also get your paws on the controls for the cameras and inner workings of this corrupt organization. Something tells me many mindbenders await. On November 15th, Blowfish Studios brings us Phantom Galaxies, an intergalactic mech adventure entering early access. Control impressive mechs and spacecrafts, choose your preferred class, and kick some ass. Tons of customization options, a deep narrative, story, and RPG elements. Yeah, there is a little bit of something here for everyone. Well, as long as you like space robots, I guess. We just can't seem to go a single week without at least one retro FPS, but at least this one has wizards. Okay, technically they're mages, but the point still stands. There is magic at play. Entering early access this week, this title promises tons of weaponry, puzzles, secrets, and of course, non-stop action. We're talking about Wizordum. We've already had one wizard with a gun this year, but this one sounds a bit more intense. Another game, another roguelike, and this time we're talking about Skybreakers from developer Bingo Studio, releasing on the 15th. This will not be early access, this will indeed be the full release. The combat looks pretty fluid and relies on a free-flowing system. There also looks to be a lot of different classes for you to choose between, including diplomacy and naturalism. Ooh, fancy names there. Tons of different weapons, and random relentless reforging, whatever that means. Really do quite like the artistic direction of this one, and more good news, you won't have to wait long to slash down your foes because it's releasing on the 15th. Content warning. This game just may be too cute for human consumption. Loddlenaut is making its debut on November 16th. Clean up polluted oceans and do your part to save their ecosystems. The artwork is adorable, the gameplay seems super soothing, and who wouldn't want to take care of alien Oxalotl? I might not be a cozy gaming guy, but even I can't resist Loddlenaut's charm. Battle your friends with up to 4 players locally in the adorable looking Bopl Battle. Bopl. There's a word you never get tired of saying, Bopl. The developer lists quite a few different abilities that you can perform over on their Steam page in this game, including the ability to attach a rocket engine and send your enemies flying away, unleash flammable smoke, and create a black hole that will eat the entire stage. This all sounds pretty gruesome, but the adorable art style would make me think otherwise. I'm all aboard with Bopl Battle if I can find 3 friends to play with. Well, you know what they say, good things come in small packages, and Tom Hanks may have wished he was big in that one movie, but you're gonna wish you were small when Small Saga releases on November 16th. Play as a mouse seeking revenge on the Yellow God of Death for stealing his tail in this whimsical RPG. You'll meet other critters under the streets of London, take on massive enemies, and mouse, all sorts of tiny weapons. Cute! I love turn-based combat, and this seems like a thoroughly strange and unusual tale that I would like to sink my little teeth into. Here we go, time for pronunciation guy, no doubt about it. This is a 2D action game, YOHANE, the PARHELION. Blaze in the Deep Blue, a spin-off of Love, Live, Sunshine. This all sounds foreign to me, but this go around, you are playing a 2D Metroidvania style game. So I don't know much about this series other than I said it wrong, but I do love Inti Creates, and their 2D art looks phenomenal, just as it usually does in their games. Huge bosses, great looking action. Excited to try this one out and maybe figure out what it actually is. Well, I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know what it is. Never mind. What year is it? Because this is not something I saw coming and I didn't hear much about it, but Flashback is apparently returning with Flashback 2 coming from Microids. As many of you probably know, I'm a huge fan of cinematic platformers, so the idea of Flashback returning is really cool, but I feel like there's no hype whatsoever behind this game, just kind of popping up out of nowhere. Flashback is a bit of a classic dating back to 1992. I certainly played it back in the day, and this is actually coming from the original creator of the game, believe it or not. Gonna be a bit of a cyberpunk vibe going on in this one, but the fluid animations seem to be intact, with some newer 3D environments. I'm not sure why there hasn't really been more hype around this, considering it is a historic franchise to a degree. That's a little bit disappointing, but let's see how it comes out. Good news for you horror fishing fans, looks like Dredge is getting some DLC with Dredge the Pale Reach. This release adds a new frozen biome, but does require the base game in order to be able to play it. There's a mystery frozen beneath the surface of the ice. Can you crack it? You'll get an additional few hours of unsettling Dredge action, that's all I know. Check it out on the 16th. Warhammer fans, are you ready for more? Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Realms of Ruin, and I can't even sit here and pretend to tell you I know much of anything about Warhammer, other than that it's been a ton of different video games. This comes from Frontier Developments. It's going to be releasing on the 17th and is a real-time strategy game. Obviously, it's going to take place in the Warhammer universe, and it will feature a full campaign along with multiplayer, including 1v1 and 2v2 cross-platform multiplayer matches being available. So Warhammer fans that can't get enough of that universe, here you go. Roguelike, Metroidvania, pixel art RPG, here we go again. Mix them all together, and what do we get? Apparently, Seventh Domain. You play as the Child of Destiny. Not like that movie with Jack Black, The Pick of Destiny, totally different here. You're tasked with saving the world. It's a tale as old as time, sure, but there's a lot of other things going on here, including a tarot-like collectible card system, unique progression, equipment upgrades, and so much more. There doesn't seem to be a lot of information available about the story as of yet, but color me intrigued. Check it out on the 16th. And holy shit, we finally made it to the end of this thing. That was a lot of releases. Let's cap it off with Below the Stone, a pixel art roguelike title where you get to play as dwarves. This one's gonna be in early access. There are procedurally generated caves to explore, 25 biomes, 5 layers, multiple dungeons, a dwarven kingdom with many important characters to meet, dwarves, blunderbusses, all sorts of stuff. It looks cute, adorable, not my style of gameplay, but I'm here for it for you, because I know someone out there will like this. And that's gonna do it, folks. Could you comprehend all of these crazy indies that are coming out this week? Let us know in the comments below which ones you're looking forward to the most. As always, thank you so much for supporting independent content. Head on over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames if you'd like to gain Discord access, exclusive live streams, early ad-free shows, including this one, and so much more. Your community is waiting. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and we appreciate you greatly. See you in the next video.